Thanks for tuning in to Pirate News. I'm Victoria Olaleye. Here's the news for October 27th. On Monday, Park's Office of Student Life hosted a Squid game night based on the popular Netflix series. The event featured several teams and individuals competing in outdoor games.
The Office of Student Life hosted a Squid Game activity night on Monday, October 25th. The event was based on the popular Netflix series as the plot revolves around participants competing in a series of games. Maya Lawrence, Director of Student Engagement, was the organizer of this event.
So in regards to the planning process for this, this came up because we had to cancel Fright Night. We had a couple of student groups where we sat and chatted with student orgs to be able to see ideas of what we can do to still be able to incorporate something for them to do. And one thing that they came up with, somebody suggested that we had a field day, and that's when it popped in my head. I know Squid Games is pretty similar to that.
Freshman English and Psychology major Nehemiah Powell won this event with the speech and debate team.
I thought it was fun. It was cold, but it was fun. Got to hang out with some friends and roll around on the chapel lawn. I didn't fall down, but I saw some people did.
This first of its kind event took place on the chapel lawn with many individual students and groups competing in the events of red light, green light, dodgeball, and tug of war.
That was Savannah White reporting. On Friday, October 22nd, the men's and women's cross-country teams competed at the 2021 Raven Challenge. The women's team placed 5th. Both teams will compete in 2021 Heart of America Championship on Saturday, November 6th. In the beginning of the year, downtown Parkville saw a rise in new businesses. Pop Culture Gourmet Popcorn and Ice Cream opened its new storefront in May. Around the same time, the baker's table began selling desserts like bread, pudding, and carrot cake in a nearby shop. Reporter Natalia Nalavaiko spoke with the owners of both businesses to learn more.
Back in mid-May, Pop Culture Gourmet Popcorn and Ice Cream opened their new storefront in downtown Parkville. Since then, the business has seen a few changes, and owners Melody and Justin Wu are loving the new location.
We had a good summer. The foot traffic down here was about at least 30% higher. So we have had just more walk-in traffic, more visitors, even more out-of-town visitors that are here for a day trip, just out discovering Parkville. So it's been nice. We have festivals down here. We're close to the river, the farmers market. There's just a lot of things going on down here. Quite a bit of life down here. So just that extra exposure has made a big difference.
As this move took place during the COVID-19 pandemic, Pop Culture has brought some store features back since some restrictions were lifted.
So now both our stores have the tasting wall back up, and customers are really enjoying that, especially the kids. They can come in, get a little sample cup, try all the flavors. And, it's pumpkin spice season, as you know, so we have that one out. And then actually just yesterday we came out with one we're calling Jolly Pumpkin. So it's the pumpkin spice popcorn with caramelized pecans drizzled in white chocolate, and it is amazing.
In this new location, Pop Culture is now in the same building as a barbecue place, a salon, and a bakery called the Baker's Table.
We were excited to be next to a bakery, and it's been nice. We all get different traffic, and it's just nice exposure for us, sharing the space. We get to watch them baking all their pies and their bread pudding, and probably the first thing you probably notice when you walk in the front door. You're kind of overcome with the sense of, the bakery and even the popcorn.
Across the hall from Pop Culture is a mother-daughter-owned bakery. Whitney George shared the story of how her mother owned a bakery in New Mexico, where she taught Whitney how to bake. Now the two own the Baker's Table in downtown Parkville.
My name is Whitney George. My mother is Marla Wilson. We're both the owners of the Baker's Table. And we were talking about what we want to do, that life's short, what should we do. And my mom was like, well, I want to come back to Kansas City, be with all of my kids. And I was like, we should start a bakery. And then it kind of just blew up from there. We came to Parkville and we found this spot. one thing led to another, and it kind of all just blossomed from there. It's been really cool.
On their menu, their best-selling items are the bread pudding and carrot cake. They also collaborated with Parkville Coffee to make a signature coffee blend for the bakery.
We just decided that it would be best to keep everything tight-knit. You know, we wanted to support each other and raise each other up. So I spoke with the owner of Parkville Coffee, and we got together and made a blend. And she basically paired certain things that would go good with our menu items, and that became the Baker's Tables blend.
Parkville residents have been nothing but grateful to have a new bakery in town, says George.
Now that we're here, everybody's just super welcoming. It's kind of like got its own little hometown feel, and people love to support local. So that's really cool too. Everybody kind of, drives through downtown Parkville, and they hit up the flower shop, and they go across the street to the Exchange, and then they have a beer at the Crack, and then they come here and get a pie on the way home. It's a cool situation.
These bakers sell gluten-free and dairy-free items and are accepting orders for the busy holiday season. Visit Pop Culture and the Baker's Table Tuesday through Sunday on Main Street.
Thanks, Natalia. The speech and debate team recently hosted its first tournament in decades. The RiverFest Swing tournament was held in Parkville on October 8th and 9th. It was co-hosted with Ottawa University. Reporter Savannah Wyatt has the story.
The RiverFest Swing Speech and Debate Tournament took place on October 8th and 9th. It was the first tournament held at Park University that was co-sponsored by the Park University and Ottawa University chapters of Pi Kappa Delta, an honor society for forensics. Tournament director and associate professor of communication arts, Laura Cohn, had this to say about the event.
So what I hope to get out of this event is just to kind of raise awareness about Park having speech and debate, both internally and also externally, and encourage our students to really throw themselves into this and to prepare and be more active.
One of the competitors was senior business administration major Michael Willis.
So the event that I'll be a mule for is IPDA, and it's a type of event where the topic changes each round, and you have to have a limited amount of prep to do it. And so to prepare for that one, I keep up with the news because a lot of the topics are about current events.
It was a successful event with student competitors from schools like Missouri Valley College and Simpson College. Michael Willis was even able to achieve a 6th place spot in the competition.
Thanks, Savannah. On Tuesday, October 26th, the women's volleyball team defeated Benedictine College with a score of 3-0. They will face off with Clark University in a home game on Friday, October 29th at 7 p.m. On Wednesday, October 27th, the women's soccer team will travel to Evangel University for a game at 5 p.m. The men's team will play at 7:30 p.m. These are the second to last games in their regular season schedule. Last week, Pirate Fitness hosted the Project Suicide Awareness event to share suicide prevention information. Reporter Mackenzie Coda attended the event and has the story.
On October 22nd, Pirate Fitness held the Project Suicide Awareness event on the first floor of Thompson Commons Student Center. Graduate assistant for Pirate Fitness, Allison Anderson, said the goal was to remind students and staff to look out for one another.
Our age group actually has the highest suicide rate out of all age group demographics, so I think it's important that we bring awareness.
Infographics and cards with the phone numbers and websites of free suicide prevention resources were given to those who stopped by. People also had the opportunity to get a temporary tattoo of 2 side-by-side semicolons.
So basically the semicolon represents continuing the story, so people that have struggled with like suicide get this tattoo, and so I decided to run this event with the 2 semicolons to show that, if you have on your wrist that you're someone that students can talk to, students can see that, they have people that are here for them, essentially.
This was the first time Pirate Fitness has held a Project Semicolon event on campus. Anderson understands the toll COVID-19 has taken on mental health around the world and park students.
Because, due to the pandemic, I know there's been a lot of additional stressors in students' life, and I assume that things like that can increase the likelihood of people having those thoughts and things like that. So I just think it's super important to kind of bring awareness to it at Park specifically, just because it's our first year back on campus, first year back in face-to-face classes. Just let students know that people are here for them.
If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out to one of the following resources.
Thanks, Mackenzie. That concludes this week's Pirate News. I'm Victoria Olaleye. Have a great rest of your week, Pirates.